So we planned on being down here to record at 8, but Kate overslept. And I don't blame her, honestly. She's worked her ass off over the last week, and it's just been very hectic for her. So we are going to be doing a short one, just in the interim. And we figured, who better to guide us through this short reaction than the Short King himself, Seth Zintak. I actually don't know how tall Seth is. He may be like a 7'4", like Shaquille O'Neal looking motherfucker, or he may be, like a 5'3" Muggsy Bogues looking, or Spud Webb looking dude. I don't know, but I do know this.
I just assumed he looks like Elon Musk since that's what his profile picture is.
Ginger Elon Musk. Yeah, Ginger Elon Musk.
Or at least that's what his profile picture looks like to me from a distance. It's
Oh
hard
my
to tell
gosh.
on people's profile pictures sometimes.
Yeah, but he has a video out now called Quasimorph Review, Schizo Edition. So, yeah, you can see Asher down. You can see his feet down here. As you noticed, we are using a different camera angle now. We are now, instead of over here, we're now up here.
I was tired of seeing my own chin whenever I edited our videos.
Yeah.
Plus, a suggestion for Nate.
Plus, this angle makes me look less fat, if we're being honest.
That's exactly why I wanted it, because it makes me look a little less chunky.
Yeah.
I think.
What do you all think? Do you all think this angle makes us look, or at least Nick, because, I know it's very hard to not make this look fat. I know it's very difficult. But we're going to be checking out this video by Seth. It's the Quasimorph Review. Let's get it up on screen, and let's check it out. Also, if Kate joins us in the middle of this, I guess she's just going to have to deal with coming into this review half-cocked. Anyway, here we go. Oh. As soon as I say it, oh my god.
Station Nation, Seth here. In the not-so-distant future, man no longer fears the tyranny of a state, as sovereign nations have been abolished. For we found the best form of government. Anarcho-capitalism. Whenever anarcho-capitalism is mentioned to me in conversation, it's usually followed by repealing the age of consent. But in this case, it simply means everything and everyone in this entire solar system is corporate property. Quasimorph is an early access roguelike where you take the role of Magnum PMC.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
No, because anarcho means like there's literally no government entity or corporate entity that...
But I guess the reality is that when you create a power vacuum where there's no governing entity, you're going to end up controlled by someone, some way.
I guess,
There's no such thing as true anarchy because someone's going to enslave you at that point.
Because they feel they have the right to. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the human race.
A private military contractor with flexible morality that does work for the highest bidder. The twist is, the world is over, Judgment Day is here, and we're all going to die. And we've chosen to profit from the chaos. But first, a word from our sponsor, because I gotta get that bread. Whoops, sorry guys, my PC crashed again. I had a single Chrome tab open, so my computer caught fire, burned down my house, and killed my wife's son. Thankfully, today's video is sponsored by Opera GX. It's no small secret that modern web browsers are massive resource hogs. They always say, just upgrade.
Well, yeah.
Your rig, bro. But you know what? No. I'm using Opera's GX control feature to limit how much CPU and RAM the browser can use, so I can game uninterrupted no matter how many memory leaks Elon adds to it. Opera GX is extremely mobile.
Yes.
Check out this one that I made. I've heard your cries, your demands. More, Seth. We want more, Seth. Well, now you've got me with every single keystroke. I'll be there, stroking right alongside you. Oh, you don't like that? You just want a themed wallpaper? Opera GX once again has you covered. You can fully customize which features come from which mods. And with a plethora of excellent mods on the store page, your browser can be whatever you want it to be. Check this out. By tweaking the music, keyboard sounds, tab sounds, theme, wallpaper, and custom shader, I've created the ultimate web browsing experience. music to my ears. Now, I know what you're thinking, Seth. This browser sounds pretty cool and all, but switching browsers is such a pain. Worry not. Opera GX has an import tool to quickly download all your site's history, bookmarks, and passwords in just one click. Use my link to download Opera GX today and say goodbye to all those pesky, boring, other browsers. To answer the question, what is a quasimorph? Sometimes the most accurate answer is the schizophrenic one. The setting of quasimorph stems from the esoteric metamythos of Daniil Andreev in his book Rose of a World, which describes Shadanakar, or the systems of parallel worlds connected to Earth. These concentric
You just
layers
said
are
a lot of
broken.
words I don't understand.
This guy basically is just like ultra existential and just like ultra multiversal and all that. Ugh.
Turas, the superimposition, influence, and overlap of which formulate together to create existence. At least I didn't know. Quasimorph is an intruder stepping in from another reality, and unfortunately, the veil between worlds is weakest between your chest cavity.
Oof.
Quasimorph is a turn-based survival extraction shooter, or in other words, 2D Escape from Tarkov, except fun. The principle is very simple. We take out a contract
Well,
and
that actually
send in
sounds
one of
kinda
our
kick-ass.
agents. If they die, no problem. They're not really any more people than they are proprietary neuro imprints. We license their consciousness, and we bioprint as many replacements necessary for total client satisfaction.
Oh.
You're free to take jobs from any of the major corporations, including the Quasimorphs. We may be locked in an existential war for humanity, but that doesn't stop me from holding stock in Sectland. Rapture is coming, but homie, I got some great dividends. We start with a favorable reputation. After all, you did help them entrench into this reality. You start a mission by selecting an active contract around the planet or moon you're currently orbiting. This requires you to select a mercenary, a class, and a loadout for the mission, after which you're deployed into hostile territory. Anyone you see, anything that moves, is kill on sight. An entire mission is 2 to 4 levels. If you change your mind midway and call the shuttle, fuel is expensive, so it's cheaper to let you die. The only way to extract is by completing the objective, which can be espionage, station defense, sabotage, elimination, or conquest. If you die anywhere in between, you lose everything, and I assure you, you're going to be dying a lot. If it's any consolation, I died during the tutorial because I picked up a knife, selected amputate, and clicked on my head. Each deployment...
It's like one of those I don't know what I expected to happen moments.
I bet you. Well, this is Seth. Seth is always just like, "Can I do thing?" Yes.
I mean,
yes, I can do thing.
Most gamers are like that. Jacksepticeye, I literally watched execute himself in LA Noir VR.
Oh, that's right.
He just wanted to see if he could.
Yes.
He's like, I don't know what I expected to happen.
Not Badger, but Womble was the same way in Pavlov VR.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh hey, a gun." Click, 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 click. Oh, it's empty. Safety off. Hey, it works. Jesus.
You're on a timer. The more time you spend and the more blood you spill, the higher your level of quasimorphosis. Quasimorphosis measures the probability of ecolapse, where, upon death, the host explodes and a quasimorph phases in. The severity of the situation is described in the bottom right. Somnia, no events. Grasp, occasional ecolapse. Intrusion, music changes, ecolapse and aggression increase. Plenum, spontaneous ecolapse. Alteration, the entire floor is coming. Qmorphose, music changes to its highest intensity. Every host in the map explodes. And finally, Rapture. If you want to live, you'll keep this number as low as possible. Naturally, there's only a few ways to do this. Drinking vodka, smoking Newports, and injecting morphine. Each time you move, you consume calories. At higher weights, this is 9 calories.
I was gonna say, sounds like average everyday life in Wise County.
Per step. This is what Americans really believe. And to avoid starvation, we need a steady supply of slop. But when the food runs out, I want you to consider alternative sources. When I consume my enemies, is it really cannibalism? For that implies I considered them human to begin with. Unfortunately, human flesh will raise your quasimorphosis. You delay one death, and accelerate another. However, if you find a crafting bench in an empty tin, you can turn that small pig into gourmet dinner, which will no longer cause quasimorphosis. The implication being that it's not about devouring your fellow man, it's about table manners. Disclaimer, they patched the canned meat. It's so over. On the other hand, they improved the crafting bench so much you have no idea. We are so back. In general, the crafting bench will save a lot of your early game runs. Don't sleep on it. Improvised toilet grenades clear rooms, makeshift batteries power autodocs and floor scanners. Completing a mission gives rewards, but more importantly, a reputation. You can land at any corporate asset so long as it's friendly and exchange goods for equipment. And if you're completely broke but friendly with
genuinely looks like the kind of game that if I got into it, I would spend way too long on it.
Well, I think that's the point. Seth is always into those games where you literally lose yourself for like 400 hours. Then you wake up about 20 days later, you're like, where have I been?
On the other hand, like I have that happen on occasion, but I like to play a variety of things, so I try to stay away from that kind of stuff.
I understand.
But this does look really fun.
It does.
Like for me at least. It looks like that particular kind of like masochism that I enjoy in a game, you know what I mean? Like I know I'm gonna die a lot, but I'm cool with it because it looks like it's gonna be fun.
Keep in mind, this man has played and beaten all the Dark Souls, Sekiro, and a good portion of Elden Ring.
Some of the like
and Bloodborne.
Obscure like indie games on PC though, like those aren't even that bad.
Yeah.
You can even exchange yourself by amputating your own limbs. This is not a joke. It's a completely valid strategy to potato peel your digits, offer them at the Fevered Temple, regenerate your limbs in the ship, and do it all over again. It's not efficient, but we can no longer exploit blood bag synthesis. They caught on to us, boys. It was good while it lasted. Speaking of which, the Magnum can fabricate almost everything, so long as you have the proprietary item chip. These are effectively a perpetual license, and are so incredibly valuable that finding one during a mission is a valid reason for evacuation. There's also class and mind chips, which unlock classes and mercenaries respectively. If you mouse over a chip and you see the words data miner, you've officially hit the jackpot. You can do whatever you want, but remember, your actions have consequences. Supporting a corporation will accelerate their growth in technology. If you want top-shelf gear, great. But if you turn against them in the future, you're not going to be facing wage slaves and general managers. You'll be facing rival PMCs and their own special forces. So I encourage you, pick a side, any side, and stick to it. There's a lot of minor corporations, but for the sake of time, here's the big players. SBN, social media monopoly. They own Twitter, the best energy rifles, and the lightest armor. Realware, industrial mega manufacturer. Carnage Pattern is objectively the coolest armor, and they produce the highest RPM ballistics. Ancom, entertainment and research conglomerate. They make the most versatile armor, the best snipers, and the experimental HFC, this game's equivalent of Doom's BFG. Testlan, Quasimorphs from Venus that'll make you rage quit at least several times. Everything is Aztec, from the design to the desire for human organs. And finally, the Civil Resistance. These are terrorists that hope to bring about something even worse than Judgment Day. A return to national sovereignty. They intentionally hive-mind themselves into a cluster of consciousness known as a call node. In effect, they have achieved working communism. Anyway, you understand the politics of our PMC. Let's return to the actual mechanics. It's very
that's terrifying, and I also wonder, like, how much, like, it's like, does the lobotomy, like, come free? I mean, because...
Of course, it's communism.
Oh. Also, not only is the lobotomy free, it's mandatory.
Tempting to finish the tutorial and go straight to the moon. Somehow, I avoided this so I didn't get filtered by a wheelchair. Quasimorphosis is unique to each planet because they're subject to the influence of a different brown fatura. Venus, Ganix, Mercury, Shartamacum, and the Earth's moon, Duger. Mars and its moons have absentia, which means there is no quasimorphosis. So, if you're starting off, I recommend Mars. If you're learning, try Mercury and Venus. And if you know what you're doing, go to the moon. That doesn't mean any single location is safe, and death is around every corner. Most common cause of death,
I want to die a horrible death.
Let me die among the stars. Let my guts be spilled along the trail to Jupiter and Mars. Sorry. Fuck.
flamethrowers, not in the hands of enemies, but myself. An entire run gone in a flash because some unpaid worker amputated your neck with a circular saw. I assumed the weapon was busted, so I tried it myself, in a straight line, where it ricocheted and cut my legs clean off. When you get injuries, which have to be treated, or they get infected. And if there's no antibiotics on hand, well, it has to go. Secondly, the most common
Holy
cause
crap.
of getting filtered, pain shock. If you take too much damage too quickly, you get stunned and lose a turn. Both systems are universal. If you shoot something hard enough, they'll get stunned from the shock. If you cause injury, you can run away as they bleed to death. And if you amputate a critical organ, they might just die instantaneously. The number of action points you can take per turn is based on your move setting. At any time, you can switch between sneak, normal, and run. Sneak is one action point, but can detect the position of nearby enemies, use your inventory, and interact with nearby objects at no cost. Normal is 2 action points, and run is free. However, while running, you can't open your inventory and take a severe penalty to your accuracy. Peak performance requires that you abuse the system. Opening a door, switch to sneak, see enemies, switch to normal, and toss a grenade, before switching back and locking it on the same turn. A lot of players have a tendency to go autopilot in sneak mode and just die without explanation. What usually happens is they turn a sharp corner, get their shit blasted in, but because they have a single action point, they go into pain shock, which rolls over to the next turn, where they get shot again, and repeat the process until they die. The whole point of running is to face check. Understand your tools, and you'll find this to be a very satisfying tactical experience. I used to have complaints about this game, but after so many hours, I can tell you, if you die, it's a skill issue. I have a brain parasite, and it forces me to play this game at 2 times speed with cheat engine. That's a personal choice. I also use a macro to amputate every corpse. After 100 hours playtime, that's a necessity. Classes work like a perk system, and each mercenary has an intrinsic perk. This unique ability combines with your class of choice to create vastly different playstyles. For example, Percy comes with +5 to all resistance. Outfitted with full carnage pattern, he's the only person in the game that can set himself on fire and not take damage. And after putting in a Phoenix Brigade, I
It's
can
like
shoot
this is fun character.
Yeah, this is not only this is fine, but this is fine standing there holding a shotgun,
Yeah, pretty
blowing his enemy away instead of just sitting there sipping tea.
single round of incendiary ammunition and burn down half the map. In general, you should pick a mercenary that suits your playstyle. Do you want to feast on human flesh? Play Isabella because she's immune to infection. Even better, put her as Eclipse Blaze and turn your cannibalism into a one-hit kill. Are you tired of getting stun-locked? Try Maximilian because he doesn't feel pain. Would you like a slower pace? Play Mirza because her caloric needs are 40% of everyone else. Are you tired of scraping by? Would you like to quadruple everyone's inventory to the point where every enemy contains 2 flavors of ramen and a pack of Lucky Strikes? Play Tunnel Rats and experience the greatest whiplash in difficulty, as everything that doesn't die to your shotgun gets knocked back into the void of space. I've discussed builds. Let's talk about guns, because there's a lot of them. If you want to kill enemies, you need to beat their resistance, and the type of damage you do is based on the ammunition. Flamethrowers and energy rifles cook organics, but have no effect on cyborgs. In contrast, the buckshot of a shotgun will cut them to pieces. Most armor stops the blunt impact of a 9mm, but a 7.97 from an assault rifle will pierce right through. Quasimorphic weapons deal cold. Even if you're fully equipped, the full burst of a serpent's mouth will send you straight back to the menu. And poison was previously neglected, now it's a complete menace. Also, there's turrets. They're incredibly useful for defense missions, and because an enemy ran right up to your face, shooting you in the crossfire. And finally, you might be asking yourself, what's that little icon on the bottom right? Don't worry about it. Anyways, I forgot how to structure this video.
Okay,
So in
then.
conclusion, I give this game a self-inflicted out of 10. It's amazing. I know it's early access, but there's a lot of content already, and you can easily sink 80 hours on just the main gameplay loop. There's an impressive roadmap of features to come that I cannot disclose at this time because I promised I wouldn't tell. As always, more content to come next year because I gotta see my family. Merry Christmas! A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos consistently for several years. You're all truly wonderful, and you give me more than I deserve. And you won't stop asking me to take your money, so I will. In exchange, enjoy the outro.
Burn everything. I wonder if there's a I wonder if there's a Crusader build for some Warhammer.
If there's not, someone will probably mod it in the future.
Yeah. Jesus, dude, this outro is
That's
literally
very long, actually.
Oh, wait, there's something at the end. Seth?
If you're interested, there's a 20% sale on GOG. A special thanks to the autistic Japanese man who tailored me this Mibeke suit. If you're interested in anything from a Democratic Republic of Congo military suit to a BDSM outfit, I've linked his Patreon in the description below. By the way, in case you're wondering, what's the most expensive part of this suit? It's the snake skin. Have a merry 2024,
Damn.
and I'll see you all next year.
All right.
So he's really not doing a face reveal or any kind of reveal, is he?
Like, damn. I was hoping for it, but honestly, I'm just happy that, Seth, I'm just happy that Seth they just blessed us with another video. Jesus.
Yeah, that game looks really cool. Like, I probably shouldn't get it.
No, you shouldn't. Oh,
I already ruined this past year with getting into Genshin Impact and Star Rail.
really?
I mean, in terms of time that I had.
Oh, right,
to play other things.
I guess, yeah.
It's like years before that, I made the mistake of getting into Warframe and getting into Satisfactory.
And you just lose yourself in some of those games.
Yeah. Also, this year, later on, I've gotten into Baldur's Gate 3, so that's been a thing, too. It's taking a lot of freaking time.
Yeah.
I'm still in the middle of a playthrough right now with one of my friends where we just got to level 7, so we're over halfway to max level again.
Okay. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Plus, there's like 8 other campaigns I've started with different people that we just never get back to, it seems like.
I get you. Well, I ain't got nothing else to say except for just, wow, that game seems like it would be a massive time sink. But I'm still...
It's also the kind of thing that I would probably get mad at, too.
Yeah.
So I could see that being the case where it's like I turn a corner and just didn't expect something stupid to happen. It's like, no!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, suddenly everything just, goes completely south and you're just screwed.
You're dead.
Yeah, basically. Well, God.
It's like, I just lost so much good stuff that I have. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I get that.
But
Well,
also, I don't play Tarkov because I can't memorize all the maps and extraction points and stuff.
I understand.
People are like, oh, you can just put it in a browser in another window. And I'm just like, yes, because that's what I want to do. Like, have to look back and forth between screens and potentially get shot in the back by another player who steals all my stuff while I'm trying to figure out how to just leave.
Yeah, basically. God. Well, anyway, I got nothing else to say. This was Seth Zintak with the Quasimorph review, Schizo edition. So if you enjoyed and you want to see more from Seth, feel free to click his name in the title of the video. And until next time, I'm Nate.
I'm Kate.
I am Nick.
Y'all be good people. Take care.